Tonight on News 5 Live, shock and disbelief as two young men shot dead while playing video games. COVID coming and going with returning Belizeans and exiting visitors testing positive. And just a few more days of Christmas vacation for children as the countdown begins for hybrid classes. Details of these stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
The ministry is collaborating with SpeedNet Communications to have a vaccination campaign for children ages 12 to 17 years. Children who get vaccinated will get a chance to win fabulous prizes, including backpacks with supplies, Nintendo Switch, tablets, book tuitions, and MiFi with 3 months data. Only children 12 to 17 years old can participate in this Smart and Ministry of Health and Wellness raffle. At vaccination sites, each vaccinated child, upon being vaccinated, will receive a ticket to place their name, age, date of birth, BHIS number, and contact information on, which will be filled out by a parent or legal guardian. The sooner a person vaccinates, the more chances he or she will have to win. Get vaccinated, Belize! Vaccination saves lives.
You inch your way to the edge of the board. Once you leap, there's no turning back. Your heart begins to race. You need to make a decision. Are you in or out? Join us for our brand new series where we dive deep into what it looks like to make God our Lord of all or not at all. God doesn't want just the dip of our toes or a wade in the shallows. He wants all of us. We're in or out.
And welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, January 4th. I am Sabrina Daly. The first 2 murders of the new year took place just 3 days into 2022. On Monday night, 2 armed men stormed a home in Sand Hill in the Belize district, catching 2 men playing video games completely off guard. There is speculation that one of the deceased was the intended target. But what is certain is 2 families have been left in mourning. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports on the double murder of Raymond Dominguez and Justice Milligan.
Just after 7 o'clock on Monday night, a barrage of bullets rang out off the Muscle Road in Sand Hill Village. When the blasts subsided, 36-year-old Raymond Dominguez and 21-year-old Justin Milligan lay dead in the living room. Multiple shots made their mark. It was a gruesome, bloody scene for the families who hurried to the location.
I never hear the shots, and well, right in the neighborhood now, and I got a call. The young man that was with me, which is my neighbor, got a call from his wife, and she told him he heard a lot of shots at the house, at the neighboring house now. So we all got concerned, no? Because I mean, everybody know everybody here, and So I got a call from my girlfriend, and she told me that my brother got shot. And I quickly started running on the street. Before I arrived at the house, someone told me it looked like he's dead, and I couldn't believe I couldn't even run. And it was devastating news, man, for go in a room and meet your only brother. I can't overstate how close we were. Going in the room and seeing with so much gunshots. It just hurt, man. It just hurt.
The deceased men were among a group playing video games in the living room of the lower flat of this two-story structure. It is something that the youth in the neighborhood would routinely do as a pastime. But just minutes before the shots were heard in the area, 3 of them had left en route to their respective homes, leaving Raymond and Justin behind, who were still playing games.
Obviously, the doors them were wide open. The shells they're inside of the house and outside, and so it's obvious that the person or individuals who did it was at the door or probably inside of the house. And so everybody who was there was basically focused on the video games. This is our neighborhood whereby everybody close knit and sort of mingle with each other. So tend to roam the neighborhood freely, you know, not expecting something like this to happen.
Both families are grappling with the deaths of their loved ones, whose lives were so callously taken. While Dominguez's mother told News 5 that he was a loving, fun, and joyous person, Mark remembers Justin as a youth who had his head in the right place.
I mean, a very, very bright individual. Stubborn, as I know these young people, and I like listen as much to their parents. I mean, but very bright individual. He gone through university, he graduated from the UB with the associates. He attempted to join the police, but he didn't make it all the way to the last training unit, but didn't make it all the way to the end. Right for the soul, he loved football, always spoke about playing football. Referee, myself and him. In my eyes, he was my best assistant referee. Very known, very jovial young man. Consider the life of the party. He ready for dance up, like sing, make his own songs. So very, very outgoing young man. Very, very outgoing. Videos of dancing and singing, they come up from left, right, and center. Some of the things were really saddening me right now. Like I never get the opportunity for seeing things before until now, and that was a really difficult time for us. The social media even difficult.
So who would want the men dead and for what reason? The family is leaving it up to the police to determine what led to the killing as they continue to grieve at this time.
Reason behind the murder, or who did it, or why it happened the way it happened, or all of those ideas I had left that up to the police officers. They were in charge of their work, and quite honestly, I personally don't have much hope in the police officers' work because we know the kind of conviction rate, the kind of results but I will give them the benefit of the doubt to let them do their job and see how far they can go or what they can come up with. But I just to try deal with this from a family standpoint and to ensure that my family okay. All we know, my family lost a son, they lost a brother, lost a young man where as far as everybody know in this community, and he wasn't that type of person, man. Honestly, you sit down at night and you're watching news many times and you hear people say that, but when you live a life a certain way and your family raised you to live a certain type of way, for some strange reason, you know, feel like the type of tragedy didn't want to hit home, no? But it did, and the only thing we could do now that ask God for strength to help we go through this era, and I have to be strong for my parents.
A heinous way to start the new year. 2 murdered in the first 3 days of January. Police have since issued a bulletin asking for persons with information to contact the nearest police station or Crime Stoppers at 922-TIPS. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Tonight, police are investigating the destruction of over 1,200 acres of sugar fields belonging to the Valley of Peace Farms Limited. Reports are that a total of 4 fields were set on fire between 9:30 and 10 a.m. on the 1st of January. A spokesperson for the company told News 5 that they hope to start the harvest by today to get as much as they can out of the $1 million investment that went up in flames. The company faced a similar situation back in January of 2021 when someone set fire to 20 acres of field. Police are investigating. The Ministry of Health and Wellness opened a new COVID-19 testing site in Belize City today after a sharp increase in the number of persons seeking to determine their COVID-19 status. The Belize district currently has the most cases. This spells more work for healthcare workers who already had to endure the 2 waves of infections over the last 2 years. Yet, across the country, they press on to offer this critical service to Belizeans, which provides critical statistics that guide the decision-making process at the national level. News 5's Paul Lopez visited the Swift Hall today, where a new testing site has been opened. He also got some disturbing news about positivity rates.
As we enter a new year, we've been met with a new COVID-19 variant and a wave of infection that has been sweeping across the nation. This has led to an increase in demand for testing and the need for a new testing site in the Belize district. This testing site at the Swift Hall is being led by Lisa Tillett Moyer, the Senior Health Inspector for the Belize district. She has been at the front line of the fight against COVID-19 since March of 2020.
The first thing you have to do as you wake up in the morning is pray to the Almighty that today is the day you don't get COVID. And that alone puts a toll on your mind. And then after that, it's the physical part of it. Then we have to deal with the people. Some people, when they test positive, they get so emotional. And then, you have to consult them and reassure them. Because, COVID is a mind thing. So you have to let them know they will be all right and just follow the medication and do what you have to do.
Muir describes the last 2 years for her and her team as tiring. But she says they must take it on one day at a time.
Sometimes when you get tired, when you come to work, it's a brand new face you're dealing with. So, we're just here for the public to ensure that we take care of the public. We try to work with them as best as we can. Yes, we can't please 100% of them at all time, but we do the best that we can, and the public sees it and they recognize it.
Apart from the tiredness, there have been incidents reported where healthcare workers have also had to endure insults from persons waiting in line to be tested or to get their results. In fact, just over the course of the last 24 hours, a request was made to have a police officer stationed at all testing sites. But in terms of numbers, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa says the previously established testing sites have become so inundated, they had to open another one here at Swift Hall, a venue used in 2021 as a vaccination site.
Testing, early isolation, early management, these are the things that will help us to ensure that we control the pandemic as quickly as possible and to control these waves. So testing is very important, but I also want to reach out to the general public and say that if you have close family members positive in your household and you've already started with mild symptoms, at this point, we need to say that, yes, you have COVID and you should remain at home.
The rate of detection at these testing sites in the Belize district is cause for alarm. Up to 50% of the persons who visit these sites are testing positive for COVID-19.
Even without the clinical testing, we can tell you that the new strain is here because of the behavior that we have seen at the testing sites. I mean, for example, we test maybe around 10 persons since we've been here, and we have 5 of them positive. I mean, 50% positivity rate, that is something for everyone to be alarmed about.
So, if there is a reason for you to visit a testing site, there are some steps you can follow to protect yourself, those around you, and the healthcare workers you will come in contact with.
We always advocate for our public health measures. No matter what the variant is, the public health measures work, they help, and that includes wearing a well-fitted mask over your nose and mouth, hand washing, sanitizing as best as possible, and keeping your distance. Sometimes, and we are fighting against what comes natural to us as human beings. We like to socialize. When we see a friend, we want to hug. If we see, like I see pregnant women sometimes in the line and people running up and hugging, it's very important that at this time when we see numbers going up, for us to avoid these things.
And keep those masks on, no matter how tired you may be of wearing them.
I'd just like to ask the public, I mean, this is like for the 100th time, please wear your mask. I have been in this COVID fight from day one. And thank God, so far, I haven't gotten the COVID. And the only thing I can accredit it to is having on my mask at all time. So please, guys, keep on your mask. And nobody's friend, even your family, if they don't live in the same household, don't entertain them.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Coming up, Belizeans coming home are advised to isolate 3 days, then test. Details on this when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says the 4 and 20 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. Did you know that salvation is a free gift of God? But there are 5 crowns that God promises to give for faithful service to him. In today's scripture, we see 24 of God's elders bowing and casting their crowns before his throne. If the Lord should come today, what would you have in your hands to cast before his throne? As a teenager, we used to sing, Must I go in empty-handed? Must I meet my Savior so? Not one soul with which to greet him. Must I empty-handed go? Oh, friends, before God puts things in our hands, so often he has to remove others. Martha Nicholson said it best, One by one he took them from me, all the things I valued most. Until I was empty-handed, every glittering toy was lost. And I walked earth's highways grieving in my rags and poverty, till I heard his voice inviting, Lift your empty hands to me. So I held my hands toward heaven, and he filled them with a store of his own transcendent riches till they could contain no more. And at last I comprehended with my stupid mind and dull that God could not pour his riches into empty-handeds already full. What's in your hands that prevents them from being filled with God's riches? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Debari, Shopigas, and Quartz. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
Digi, the premier name in voice and data, is also the country's leading provider of innovative services and solutions for small business and enterprise. At Digi Business, we offer solutions, tools, and applications to support your business needs. Reduce costs, improve efficiency, and excel in a changing world where no idea is too big and no task is too small. From technology advising to design implementation and management, our team of qualified solution sales and specialists can develop a reliable and robust infrastructure, allowing you to spend more time on what matters most, your business. Visit us online to explore how DigiBusiness innovative products and solutions can help your business reduce costs and improve efficiency.
And while the highest number of daily positive cases is being reported in the Belize district, A large percentage of these cases is being identified at the Philip Golson International Airport. Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa is recommending that Belizeans who travel back home and test negative at the airport isolate for a period of 3 days before getting tested.
Generally, we are definitely seeing more Belizeans testing positive at this point in Belize City. At the airport at PGI over the last 2 to 3 days, we're seeing about 50-50. However, having said that, yesterday and Sunday, we've seen mostly Belizeans coming home testing positive. So it's something that we also want to just say to the general public. If you have traveled to the United States or to any foreign country and you've come home today, you've tested negative when you have arrived at home, please also have a plan to take on the responsibility, isolate for another 3 days and retest prior to going into your workplace, especially if it's a big workplace, if you're not working for yourself or in an individual office. That's really important.
You may be running the risk of visiting a testing site too early after a colleague tests positive for COVID-19 at your workplace. Dr. Musa recommends that you also get tested at least 3 days after a colleague tests positive if you suspect that you were exposed.
We try to advise persons coming in for testing. If you and I work together and you tested positive this morning when you left work, I will not test positive right away. So I need to then isolate for 3 days and then come and get tested. We don't want people to go out with a negative test within 2 hours of exposure and then say, oh, I'm negative, so I'm good. Take off your mask and let your guard down. And then 3 days after, everybody that you've been around have to be tested, and you then have to be retested. So that's very important, especially if you're symptomatic. Sometimes you may be testing too early. So you miss that time frame of picking up the positive test. And if you do test negative, if you're symptomatic or if you're close contact, we go on to do a PCR test as well.
As information about the virus evolves, so has the response to its effects. With 2 years of experience in fighting COVID-19 and safeguarding the general public, Dr. Musa spoke about the lessons learned by Belize's healthcare professionals and how critical the data has been to the national response.
Definitely, everything has been so new. We've had to learn a lot. We've had to learn a lot about the infection control, about transmissibility, looking at presentations with symptoms. We had to really learn about who are the persons who are vulnerable, who would worsen. So all of this we're taking with us to 2022 when we give advice, when we give health advice. The vaccinations, we know for a fact that the vaccines have helped us as a country to save lives, to reduce severity of illness, and we want to continue to urge people to come out and get vaccinated. We started our vaccine now, it will almost be 1 year, and we really want to ensure that persons are aware of the significance that the vaccine plays, the significant role that the vaccine plays in helping us to control the severity and control the hospitalizations as well, because of course we've got to look after the health of our country, and we've got to look after our health system and ensure that that integrity is maintained, that when you're very ill and when you need the service, we're able to give you that service effectively and efficiently. So we do need the general public to help us with this response. We do need people to be patient with us when you come to our health facilities for testing. We are really trying our best. We're putting on more staff in many different places, and we're trying to ensure that we can give the care that the country deserves, and we're trying to ensure that we work together as a team to to bring this wave down as quickly as possible.
The presence of the Omicron variant has still not been confirmed in Belize, only suspected. And already there is another variant detected in France. So as Belize braces for the news that the Omicron that is causing the number of new infections to spike exponentially over the past 3 weeks, we may have to contend with yet another mutation of the COVID-19 virus. Dubbed the IHU or the B1642 variant, 12 cases have been detected in France, specifically in the Marseille region after a traveler returned there from Cameroon, Africa. Most of the patients have been hospitalized, and preliminary reports are that the IHU has 46 mutations, which is more than the Omicron variant had. The symptoms specific to this new variant are now being studied. After the break, COVID in the hospitality industry, random testing for workers, and extra accommodations for guests. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Who offers the best mobile experience in Belize? You don't know? Well, the truth is, Digi, our national telecom, of course. Digi has the largest mobile LTE advanced network with over 96% countrywide coverage, offering the fastest mobile LTE data speeds at the most affordable rates with mobile plans that fit your lifestyle. The truth is, only Digi gives the ultimate mobile LTE experience. Visit your nearest Digi store to join the bigger, better network today. Digi, our national telecom. Visit us online at www.livedigi.com.
The BWS app is here and is available for download from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. BWS customers can use the app to view water usage and current bill, read your own meter, apply for new residential and commercial connections, apply for reconnection, make reports, contact BWS customer service, and much more. Download the BWS app today.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
The New Year's is here, and you can start off with over $500,000. The Mega Bingo Progressive Jackpot is now at $615,438. You can win it all with just one $2 Mega Bingo ticket. Don't miss the opportunity of a lifetime. Purchase your ticket and tune in to the next show airing this Wednesday, January 5th on Channel 5, Radio Bahia and Love FM. You can also catch the show online on Facebook or YouTube. Just search for Belize Mega Bingo and play the game live. 2022 can be your lucky year, so don't miss your chance to be the next jackpot winner. Mega Bingo is the game.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
Classes resume next week Monday for tens of thousands of students across the country who attend one of the over 600 institutions in Belize. A Ministry of Education transition to hybrid learning report breaks down a detailed plan for safely getting children back into the classroom setting, with both an online and in-person learning component incorporated. Education CEO Diane Mejia says that focusing on the education of the youth must remain a priority.
We all know how serious the effects have been on our students, having been out of the classroom now for close to 2 years. And this is something we've been working toward. This is not a new decision. It's not a rash decision. It's really been very careful and it's taken a while for us to get to this point. Where we are now is moving toward having our schools return for hybrid learning in January. We have around 600 schools across the country. So it's approximately 600, it's a little over. Of the 600 schools so far, as of today, because these numbers keep changing day by day, but as of this morning, we had 539 who had already applied for reopening, 520 who were approved, right? We have 97 who had already opened. So this was between October and when schools closed for December for Christmas break. We had 97 schools. We do want all the schools to return for some measure of in-person learning, right? That's why we keep using the term hybrid, because we want to have students on campus physically for at least a few days of the week for them to be able to have some limited form of engagement with teachers. We recognize that in many of the schools, the physical spacing is such that they can't all be there at the same time in the same way and maintain social distancing. And so that's why we understand that, many of the schools need to stagger or shift. So we keep using hybrid because they're going to be on site for some of the time, and then they're going to be continuing with or distance learning some of the time.
Close to 200 of the 600 are ready to go come January 10th. But because all schools are not in the same state of readiness, some will be starting their hybrid program on different days. But the number of active cases skyrocketing continues to be of grave concern not only to parents, but also to the Ministry of Education and its planned reopening of schools in the next few days. While it is widely speculated that the increasing numbers reflect that the Omicron variant is in Belize, CEO Mejia says they are going full speed ahead because a report shows that COVID cases during the last semester of hybrid learning originated outside of the school setting.
The attention that we paid to the schools, close to 100 who opened for hybrid between October and December, looking at those schools and that exercise, what it showed us is that we had something like 900 teachers who were engaged in hybrid learning for those months. And of the 900 teachers, we saw 133 of them who had COVID. And so that translated to about a 14% positivity rate among the teachers. With the students, there was about 7,000. That was the approximate population of students who were engaged. And there were 145 students. It translates to about 2% of the population of students who were engaged in hybrid who contracted COVID, again, during that October to December period that we tracked. So we recognize that there were instances of COVID in the schools. We recognize that based on those situations that we monitored, that the COVID cases seem to have originated mostly from outside the schools. And what we saw was that within the schools, that procedures and protocols were being followed. What I find is that it's difficult, I think, for adults to believe that students follow protocols, but they really do. Children are so wonderful about understanding and appreciating structures. And there's no set of people in the world better at putting structures in place than teachers.
Over 85% of the teaching staff across the country is vaccinated, while over 15% of children 12 years and older have been vaccinated. So going into this second semester, a game plan has been developed to address spikes in any community. Working closely with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Ministry of Education says the use of geographic information system will help it make informed decisions on high-risk areas.
We understand how distance learning can work, and we also understand how to monitor. We understand how to track. As a Ministry of Education, our partnership with the Ministry of Health and Wellness has us now at a place where we can monitor the geographical area of this country. We have a GIS hub on our website where we can go, and anyone, you can go, right? You can check out the site and you can see where numbers are higher, where schools are open, and we can use the data that comes to us to make guided decisions. So if we recognize that, we have a positivity rate that's higher in one particular area, we can say, okay, schools in this area can go back to distance learning for 2 weeks or, whatever. I mean, that's just an example, right? But we can do things like that, and we can move forward reasonably, intelligently. We can make smart choices.
This morning, Belize's hotel industry has begun to see more COVID cases among both their staff and guests. This morning on Open Your Eyes, industry spokesmen discussed the problems they are facing, such as trying to keep their doors open, visitors housed, and workers on the job. Ted Tejada of the Belize Hotel Association says people in the industry are testing more often than randomly.
Are starting to see, and we've heard from several of our hotels that yes, hotel staff are coming positive. Actually, I spoke to about 10 hotels yesterday who reported that within yesterday they were able to detect 1 or 2. And what we are doing as hotels are now starting to test their staff randomly, which is being recommended. Even if they have 0 signs, we're asking hotels to randomly check their employees so that we can start to detect them. Remember that many of the hotels have a cafeteria where our staff are being given breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And so they eat in a community. And if you have one employee that is positive, you have the possibility of contaminating the entire hotel. But yes, hotels had protocols from 2 years ago, and we had been practicing. And in terms of guests themselves, we feel very comfortable that we are able to deal with the protocols that we have, being able to isolate and take care of our guests. It is more having our employees show to the hotel with the virus that it will start to cripple in terms of the service that we provide.
Yeah. While no hotels have closed their doors yet, there is concern that increased COVID cases among staff in coming weeks could create a problem for the industry. Another issue causing challenges for Belize hoteliers is when guests test positive for COVID just as they are about to leave. This means they cannot depart the country as scheduled and will need to continue their stay. In some cases, this can have a domino effect since new arrivals were supposed to get those rooms.
I heard of a hotel that had quite a bit of cases yesterday, not within the employees, but within the guests. What we're seeing is that hotels are testing within the community in the guest. Let's say I had a hotel that said it had 20 cases yesterday within the guest, but it's one person within a family. These are the individuals that are testing because they are supposed to leave the country tomorrow. So once they have tested positive, they can no longer leave. So this hotel has 20 guests that can no longer leave. Those are 20 rooms that guests have to stay, minimum 5 days. In this particular case, the hotel had already sold those rooms to new guests coming in. And now we have a problem where those rooms are no longer going to be vacant because you have individuals can no longer leave the country. And so it's also posing the problem of having to find hotels within their neighborhood in order to put new guests arriving into the country.
The head of the Belize Tourism Industry Association, Stuart Crone, said that the Belizean hotels have proven very resilient during the pandemic and very few have had to close down. He says one of the positive aspects has also been the increase in local Belizean traffic to destinations within the country, a trend he hopes will continue even when the land borders reopen.
You've not seen many places go out of business. The statistics that Ted was referring to, some of the hotels that have not come back, it's a little bit deceiving because a lot of those hotels may have been Airbnb type operations that are technically registered as hotels, but they're really not significant hotels. So the comeback has been good. But I'd like to point out one of the real major stories during the pandemic was the shift of our local residents toward vacationing in Belize. Of course, because the borders were closed for a long time, and particularly the land borders, which are still closed, Belizeans vacationed locally in record numbers. And I would like to congratulate them for patronizing our own tourist properties. And hopefully, now that Belizeans have seen the wonders of our own country, when the borders do open up eventually, they will hesitate to go back to Cancun, Playa, Chetumal, Bacalar, and stay in their country. I would comment, you look at Ted right now, he's staying at a lovely room in Chalk Creek, and will be eternally jealous. But that's a good example right there.
Just ahead, life skills training at the hubs in Belize City. But first, here is a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Stay safe and submit your sickness benefit claim form electronically. Follow these 4 steps. Step 1. Obtain your medical certificate. At consultation, the doctor certifies your days of illness and provides you with a medical certificate. Step 2. Fill out your sickness benefit form. Complete all the fields in parts 1 to 4 on the front page of the sickness benefit form. Step 3. Request your salaries record form. Contact your employer for your salaries record form. Step 4. Submit your sickness benefit claim form. Scan or take a clear picture of the sickness benefit form, salaries record, and proof of bank account. Email the documents to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz within 14 days. You will receive an email reply confirming receipt of your claim. After the submission of all documents, your claim is processed for payment to your account. For any COVID-related illnesses, contact the Ministry of Health for further guidance. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call on-net, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
To celebrate its 180th anniversary, Sagicor Financial Services spent 2021 carrying out 180 random acts of kindness across the Caribbean. According to a release from the company, representatives from their Southern Caribbean region, including Belize, wanted to bring smiles to the faces of strangers and support numerous charities. In Belize, staff members conducted acts of kindness, such as giving gifts to the Belize Cancer Society, offering support for Autism Awareness Month activities, and preparing turkey dinners for frontline workers at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. Sagicor says the regional effort was their way of giving back to the communities, which helped the company to prosper for almost 200 years. The citrus industry has been embattled for several years amid disease and inner turmoil amongst growers. This morning, the Citrus Growers Association, the representative organization for a majority of growers in the Stan Creek district, held its annual general meeting at the CGA compound near Pomona. A number of items were on the agenda, including a report by the chairman of Belize Citrus Growers Association Investment Company Limited pertaining to the sales and purchase agreement with Homeland Investment Limited. Also on the agenda was a motion to accept the resignation of all members of the Committee of Management and to elect 9 new Committee of Management members. Likewise, the statements of account and audited reports from the Committee of Management for the period of October 1st, 2016 to October 31st, 2020 were presented for review. Finally, among other items tabled, was a vote on a resolution for the sale of shares of citrus products of Belize Limited to Homeland Investments. News 5 made several attempts today to get a comment from the CGA, but we were unsuccessful. We'll have more on this in Wednesday's newscast. Across Belize City, a number of centers have been established to assist youth in troublesome communities with gainful employment. 6 locations, including Yabra, St. Martin's, and Majestic Alley, were identified in partnership with the U.S. Embassy, and investments were made in each neighborhood to create employment opportunities for reformed gang members. This afternoon, News 5's Isani Cayetano visited several of these locations and followed up with the participants on the progress of the initiative 1 year later. Here's his story.
Finding purpose, notwithstanding the tragedy that has befallen them in what would otherwise be described as crime-ridden neighborhoods in Belize City, is a mission that these young men embarked upon 2 years ago. Despite the raging pandemic and the vagaries of gang warfare, there's a lot to be done at St. Martin's One Stop Auto Care.
We know that these guys have a past, and it was difficult to do job training and send them out to find a job because their lives would be at risk. But creating opportunities from within the community, using the skills from within the community, afforded them the ability to actually rise up in their community and contribute back to their community. So this initiative was solely to create an environment where we call them hubs, because this is the place where people come for resources, where people come to access any kind of services.
The employees at St. Martin's One Stop Auto Care on Partridge Street Extension are occupied with repairing vehicles. They've held firm to their respective jobs, notwithstanding a tragic incident on December 15, 2020, that could have very easily sidelined their attempts at turning their lives around.
Well, over the past 12 months, we had some bumps and bruises, had a rocky start, but perseverance, and we stay in there and try to put we all into it, no? So I guess for then till now, it never really easy, but we're hanging in there.
These guys are busy fixing cars, motorbikes, and even jet skis, but their work at the hub is more than meets the eye. They are also responsible for facilitating academic assistance for students who need help after school.
So you might see a mechanic shop, but that mechanic shop is also offering scholarships because they're connected to us at the Love Foundation. So we're able to help them. If they know somebody in the neighborhood that needs a scholarship or needs any kind of academic help, they can come back to us and we're able to do that. So through the hub, we've given scholarships. We've helped other people to get employed, like single mothers. We've referred them to jobs. So people come to the hub and access resources from the hubs.
At Life Skills Multi-Purpose Program, there are different avenues through which residents are able to earn a living. Kevin Sutherland is one of the founding members.
Well, one day we get up and said that we got this yard abandoned, and we just get a little permission from the owner, and he let us use his yard to wash car first. And after, when we don't use to wash car, we went to a program on Cisco on a retreat, and from there they tell them that we want to open a little business. They say we'll seek some help, and we get a little help from through the U.S. Embassy, who gave us some tools.
Since then, the United States Embassy and the Love Foundation have gone on to establish as many as 6 hubs across the city. Aside from community building, vocational training and engagement is high on the agenda.
The next goal is to have somewhere in the community where the younger guys can come and learn something and feel at home, no?
What has that been like in terms of being able to engage these young men to come here and learn a skill?
Well, actually, it's been a success, no? Because despite whatever happened, everybody's still holding their head straight, and we try to make the league works get done, no? Like today, most of the guys they out to work on the street program, but you're going up on a regular day when no next project they happen, and you have to see all of the guys there they engage in some kind of activity, you know. If they're not to fix a cycle or even a bicycle, or they're underneath of the hood of a car, you have to sit there to try to learn and do something, no?
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Up next, free spending December leads to MAGA January. News 5 has some sales that will help you stretch those dollars. Stay with us.
Need a paint which offers superior quality and durability? Then the choice is easy. Designed specifically for your home's exterior, Benjamin Moore Ultra Spec EXT offers ultra smooth performance. It's easy to apply, has low odor, and is mildew resistant. Bring life to your home by choosing the color and sheen to suit your style. Benjamin Moore Paints, available at Benny's. Celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipid, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus, hence cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you. When something is good and you can save, that makes it even better. Like this guy, he buys Flex bundles using his promo credit. No worries when his primary credit is finished. He gets talk, text, and data for free. Or her, she calls her family internationally with her promo credit. And with data packages so affordable, she even does video calls. Smart continues to offer great deals and affordable promotions. As a small business owner, she saves when she uses her promo credit to call the other guys. All Smart customers enjoy more triple days and knowing they can use their promo credit, which just lasts longer. Smart, bringing people together.
Christmas and New Year's have come and gone, and now many are starting to feel the pinch after going overboard with their spending. Bills are mounting, loan payments are due, but we still must provide food for the family. And here is where people look for some ease from those businesses that offer post-Christmas specials. News 5's Marian Ali went looking today for the MAGA season sale.
The ham and turkey feast is over, but the times are not necessarily as hard as the month of January usually spells for most people. We found out today that there are still great prices being offered on meats over at Campus Meats on 6th Street starting this weekend.
After the Christmas and New Year's, you know, everybody done broke. But it's an every year thing, right? So what I'm doing starting this month, well, our first Saturday, on Thursdays I normally have a promotion, right? Yes. But on Saturday I'm having what is called a MAGA season promo, all right? Where my beef and my pork are both gonna go down during the promotion. Behind me is my normal prices. This is what you will get from a Monday to Saturday without promotion.
Alyssa Mahill told us that her meat shop caters to people with barely enough change to buy a soft drink.
But with $2, you could get a nicely piece of meat. For stew down, for soup, whatever it is. For $2, we could still handle you with something nice for eat. And we do got a lean neck and back for 85 cents a pound.
But there's a MAGA season deal on meat this month over at Joe's Meat Shop on Central American Boulevard for people who live on the other side of the city.
For January, we're making it extra special. We have different meats on sale. We have pig feet, pork leg, pork neck, you know, different types of the beef and pork. We even have some of the processed meat that we also have on sales, like salami, bacon, ham, you know.
Special prices?
Special prices.
And in case you're running out of the staple grocery items to put on the table, Suncast Limited's 3 supermarkets on both sides of Belize City and in Orange Rock Town have those special prices.
We still have our yellow tags up, Marion, from last year into the year. We don't stop our everyday promotions or everyday low prices on our products. And that is throughout our 3 supermarkets, People's Store, Save You, and Bottom Dollar.
But discounts are not all that the Suncast Group is offering during January, as the company's marketing manager, Aisha Trapp, indicated.
And we also have a promotion on our Quaker Oats and our Frito-Lay chips still, where a lucky customer or 3 lucky customers will win $1,000 shopping spree. So all you have to do is purchase the big bags. You get a ticket, and then the Quaker, we're giving away 3 tablets and 3 months internet from your supplier. So we still have promotions going on even though the Christmas season is over.
If you didn't get a gift for someone in time for the Christmas, including toys for your pets, the sale is still on at Maya's Electronics on Queen Street.
For the month of January, we're having a MAGA season discount. We're having on speakers, fans, tablets, especially the tablet. Right? The tablet are tablets where it comes everything for school with the Zoom, WhatsApp, classroom, everything. You can also use it as a phone. We have headsets. Those are for people that work in call centers.
And they're all with special prices or discounts for the MAGA season. Yes. Not part of Maya's usual discount price.
No. Those are all special price for the month of January.
Going by what we discovered in only a few hours at these stores, we'd guess that if one has the time to shop around, the great deals and discounts can be found at many more places across the country. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
The first New Year's babies delivered in the public health system received the usual fanfare and well wishes for long lives. But what was evidently missing were the gifts that Suncast Limited usually provides to help celebrate. But that company's marketing manager, Aisha Trapp, told News 5 Today not to worry. They have taken note of all the firstborn babies in the municipalities, and the gifts will be forthcoming.
We will be going to visit the first babies that were born. We found out all the names of the babies born in each district for the new year, and they will receive a package from us. I mean, because of COVID, we couldn't be there, but I just want to put that out there that don't worry, we are coming your way with your special package.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.